The story begins with a chemist transforming the face of a gangster in his clinic. This gangster first steals for the Chinese mafia. Then he cheats them and runs away with the gold. Now, both the police and the mafia are after him. To escape, he goes to his uncle who advises him to change his identity. Without modern tools, his face is painfully altered and he is given a new identity. Meanwhile, Dragon Lee, a dangerous mafia man, goes in search of him. While searching, he reaches the chemist's shop, where his men destroy everything and torture the chemist. The gold is found, but not the gangster. Uncle has already told him to hide, but seeing Uncle in that condition, he himself comes forward. Then the direct confrontation begins. Lee beats him severely and thrusts a sharp bone into his stomach. The pain is so much that anyone would give up, but he does not stop. The determination to fight till the last breath is still alive within him. Lee picks him up and throws him on the ground and is about to shoot him when suddenly his uncle pricks needles into his veins from behind. Lee's body goes numb for a few moments. This was the only opportunity. The gangster attacks him with full force. He beats him continuously, but Lee was no less. He picks up a glass bottle and stabs it into her leg. Now the situation becomes worse. Now he is not even able to stand properly. So, gathering his last bit of strength, he throws a powerful punch. So powerful that Lee falls several feet away. He immediately runs to his uncle. Looking at them, it is clear that the condition is very bad. He's about to help them when Lee makes his final move. A grenade is thrown towards them. The very next moment, there is a loud explosion. Lee feels it's all over now. So he runs away from there before the police arrives. But the story does not end here. Through the smoke, we see that the gangster is still alive. In fact, his uncle had saved his life by jumping on the grenade himself. He gave her another chance by giving his life. He doesn't want to leave them in that condition. But in his last breath, his uncle says only one thing: go away from here and start a new life. This time he agrees to what they say and leaves without looking back. After some time, a girl sees him leaving from there and immediately informs the police. The police try their best to find him, but he is no longer the same person. New face, new name, new identity. He was out of their reach forever. Time passes. Not just 1 or 2, but 15 years pass, and then we see him again. Now he is no longer a gangster, but a person living a peaceful life. A chef who simply cooks good food and lives in his own world. People know him as Uncle Chan, and no one has any idea how much blood, how much pain, and how big a story is hidden in his past. Despite all this, Chan never even touched that gold. He had wealth worth crores of rupees. But he kept it hidden and started living his life like a normal person. No. One day he is working in his restaurant when his business partner Mina sees something strange outside. Some boys surround a girl and secretly mix something in her drink. Mina sees all this and immediately tries to stop them. But those boys start threatening him instead. You don't know who our boss is. Chan is watching all this. If he wanted, he could have finished them all in a moment. But he stops himself. He just tries to handle the matter quietly so that the matter ends here. Just then a policeman arrives there. At first glance, it seems that everything will be fine now. But the matter turns out to be the opposite. Mina tells him everything, but he directly asks for proof and downs the same drink without thinking. At that very moment, it becomes clear that he is also a part of the same game. Chan understands that staying here now would mean inviting trouble unnecessarily. He asks Mina to go inside and ends the conversation by apologizing to those boys. After some time, when the policeman is seen talking friendly with the same boys, his suspicion is proved completely correct. The story then takes another turn. We see a girl. Yui is being bullied by some kids from her own school. But Yui was no weak girl. He had learnt kung fu from his uncle. As soon as things cross the limits, she gives such a reply that both the boys are unable to control themselves. Chan stands at a distance watching all this. He doesn't interfere, he just waits. Once the boys are thoroughly beaten, he comes to Yui and explains to her that it's not right to fight everywhere. The story then takes us to a policeman who has received an invitation to a secret party tonight. The place is not an ordinary one. It is a club where everything looks shiny from outside. But the truth inside is quite dark. Peace is also found there. Just like a normal staff member, he came quietly to deliver food, without drawing attention to anyone. Inside, as Officer Wong looks around, he begins to understand everything. Many young girls are being forced to dance after being intoxicated. This was not a party, but a complete game was going on, and his boss, who was an old acquaintance of Wong, turned out to be the master of that game. He introduces Wong to a new girl who was brought from Singapore that very day, as if she were a commodity rather than a human being. He laughs and says tonight is yours and pushes her in front of Wong. Wong compulsively begins to get closer to her. But as soon as he kisses her, the girl suddenly regains consciousness, and in anger, she bites him. The atmosphere changes in an instant. The boss is about to hit the girl in anger, but Wang stops him. At that very moment, the girl receives a call on her phone. On the other side, someone is telling him to run away from there quickly. He had come to know that Wang, whom he considered his man, was his own man. He is actually spying on them. Wang also senses danger. He immediately tries to leave, but it is too late. People surround him from all sides. The atmosphere was such that anyone would be scared, but Wang was not one to back down. He directly tells them to come with him, quietly, otherwise the consequences will be bad. But the person in front was not ready to listen, and then what happened was a direct confrontation. Wang alone outweighs everyone else. He knocks everyone down one by one, so loud that no one is in a position to get up again. A boy threatens her in a last-ditch effort. Do you even know who I am? But Wang, without any fear, slaps him twice, and he falls unconscious on the spot. The police arrive shortly. Everyone is arrested. The mission is successful, but a question begins to linger in Wang's mind. How did his identity get revealed so quickly? It was clear. There is a traitor inside. The atmosphere on the other side is completely different. Mina and Uncle Chan are celebrating Yui's birthday. Then suddenly, there's a loud knock on the door. The door opens, and in front stands the same girl who had somehow escaped from the club. Just by looking at her condition, one can understand how scared she is. Hands are trembling. Breathing is fast. Chan brings him inside, calms down, and when she is able to speak, everyone is stunned to hear her story. She had come here to meet her boyfriend whom she met on an online dating site, but it was not love, but a trap. He betrayed her. His passport was snatched, and he was sold directly to the Chinese mafia. Now she had reached here only by running. But the real danger was still behind him. Mina gives water and food to the girl Ava. She gently takes care of him and assures him that he is safe now. But Chan is restless inside. He knows that getting involved with such people means direct danger, and now he does not want to put his new life or his close ones in any trouble. That's why he clearly says that it should go to the police. Mina stops him and explains the condition the girl is in right now. Where will she go alone at this time of night? She promises to take him to the police station herself in the morning. But he should be allowed to stay here tonight. After a lot of persuasion, Chan agrees, but his fear does not subside. Actually, for Mina, this was not just help from a stranger. It was part of his own story. Years ago, she too was similarly trapped in this unknown country. People used it, broke it. There came a time when he decided to end everything with his daughter. But at that very moment, Chan came into her life and gave her a second chance. Today, she wanted to return the same favor to someone else. The next morning, everything suddenly changes. Mina is cleaning the restaurant when some people arrive there. She tells them that the shop is closed, but they force their way inside without listening. His eyes are looking for only one thing. Ava finds him after a while. But the matter does not end here. They pick up Ava as well as Mina's daughter. Mina tries to stop them, but they beat her badly and take both of them away. Meanwhile, Chang is returning from the market with vegetables. Then on the way, his car is hit and overturned. He somehow gets out. He tries to escape to save his daughter, but the injury to his leg does not allow him to move forward. He falls after a few steps, helpless, not capable of doing anything. After this, he directly reaches the police station with the hope that maybe he will get help now, but a policeman coldly turns him away, saying, "Go home. If we find out anything, we will tell you." Then he shows him a lot of missing files, as if to say that you are not alone. At that very moment, Officer Wang comes there. His eyes fall on a suspicious man, the same one who was caught by them earlier also. Nothing was found with him during the raid, so he was about to be let off, but Wang quietly makes a move. He searches his pockets without telling anyone, and then asks the other policeman to search him. Now the game was about to turn, and this time Wang wanted to bring out the truth at any cost. He was looking at those files carefully, when suddenly his eyes fell on two faces. One was Yui, and the other was the same girl he saw at the club last night. Now all the links start connecting. He realizes that this matter is much bigger, and he also knows through whom the path of this entire game leads. He goes straight to Ava's boyfriend, the same one who had deceived him and trapped him in this trap. Wang asks him where the girl is, but he shows cleverness. He flatly refuses. He says he won't speak a word without a lawyer. Wang smiles slightly, as if he already knows how long this will last. He tells the guards to get him some coffee, and as soon as the guards leave, the atmosphere changes. Within a few minutes, he makes him reveal everything without making any noise. Now he has the information he was looking for. He then gives his report to Commissioner Simon, who seems quite happy with his success. Gradually, it also becomes clear that their relationship is not just an office one. Simon is like his uncle. He is the one who brought Wang to this position. It was he who showed him the path to the police uniform. Then both of them go to a place where everything becomes even more personal. They stand in front of his father's grave, and this is where a big truth comes to light. The child who saw the gangster escape 15 years ago was none other than Wang himself. His childhood ended that day. His father was on duty in that area. But when Wang reached him, he was lying on the ground. The bullet had hit. He saw his father die in front of his eyes, and since then the only thing left in him was revenge. He believes that the gangster who ran away from there that day is his father's murderer. He has been searching for her for years, just waiting for an opportunity to punish him. But Simon explains it to him. It is said that the person in front is not an ordinary man. Every step has to be taken thoughtfully. On the other hand, Chan was also not one of those who would sit quietly. He searches everywhere. He scans all the CCTV cameras nearby. Finally, in a footage, he sees the car in which his daughter was taken away. As soon as he gets a number plate, he goes to every mechanic in the area without wasting any time. He asks, searches, and finally finds a man who remembers the car. He takes her to a building. He tells that a few days ago the same car was left here after repairing it, and Yui was kept locked inside the same building along with the other girls. The next morning, everything looks perfectly normal. Same daily routine. A man comes to the building to supply vegetables. The guards let him in without any suspicion. But this time, there was a difference. Chan himself was hidden inside one of those baskets. Waiting for the right opportunity, he sneaks in quietly without anyone noticing. On the other hand, Officer Wang has also reached the same building. Now he no longer trusted his own department, so he decides to gather evidence alone. He climbs the wall and enters inside, and as soon as he gets inside, he overhears some doctors talking. He's talking about removing the eye of a patient, just as if it were a normal operation. Wang's suspicion now turns into belief. This place is not limited to just imprisoning girls. Organ trafficking is also taking place here. At the same time, Chan slowly moves upwards, and what he sees is no less than a bad dream. The girls are made to stand in front of the camera. They are being forced to smile and look good because they're being auctioned online. Any girl who refuses is brutally beaten. Only one rule applies here. Either you get sold laughing, or your body will be cut into pieces and sold. Meanwhile, Wang reaches the third floor while searching, where he meets Ava. She breaks down upon seeing him. She cries and begs for help. That moment wasn't easy for Wang, but he knew that if he hurried now, the entire network would escape. He reassures her, "I'll be back," and moves on. After some time, he reaches a room, and what he sees there is even more terrifying than he had imagined. The body of a girl whose organs have been removed. On the other hand, Chan follows a guard to a room. Many girls are locked inside. Then his eyes fall on a small toffee lying on the ground. The same candy he gave Yui on her birthday. Only now he is convinced that his daughter was here. In anger, he attacks the guard, makes him unconscious. But the truth comes out the very next moment. Yui had been moved last night. And seeing the condition of the other girls, he understands. The cuts on his stomach clearly indicated what was going to happen to him tonight. He wants to save them. But then Wang arrives there. Chan gets furious as soon as he sees him, because one thing was already stuck in his mind, that the police is also involved in this whole game. Without thinking, he attacks Wang. Wang tries to stop him, explains that he is not the enemy. But it was impossible for Chan to trust anyone now. After what he had seen, every face seemed false to him. Hearing the noise, a guard comes up, but Chan and Wang immediately hide behind the door. As the guard moves forward, the two come face to face again, and the fight begins again. This time the collision is so strong that a cupboard kept nearby falls, and this sound alone alerts everyone. The handler sitting below understands that something is wrong up there. He immediately sends all the guards to the third floor. But by then, the misunderstanding between Chan and Wangam is cleared. Now both of them stand together and not against each other, and then the real fight begins. Guards attack from all sides, with sticks, rods, weapons, whatever is in hand. But Wang keeps knocking them down one by one, as if he doesn't know how to stop. He destroys the peace of those who escape his hands. Both of them together stop every person coming, but the number of guards kept increasing. The situation becomes such that it becomes difficult to handle. That's when Chan puts his full strength back into action after 15 years. One powerful blow, and many people standing in front fall to the ground together. Wang pauses for a moment. He couldn't believe that a mere chef had so much power. But then his eyes fall on Chan's leg. The same old injury, the same scar, and suddenly everything connects. He remembers that the man who killed his father and ran away 15 years ago also had a similar injury on his leg. Now he understands that Chan is that man. But even after knowing this truth, he does not do anything, because now is the time for mission and not revenge. Wang immediately calls for backup. From outside, his man breaks the wall and enters inside, and taking advantage of that opportunity, all three of them leave from there. The mission remains incomplete, and Wang angrily approaches Simon. But Simon scolds him instead. He says that by going alone, you have put not only your life, but the life of the entire plan in danger. Wang has solid evidence, but Simon still stops him from proceeding further. He even orders him to release Dragon Li's men. Now Wang doesn't understand. What is it that Simon is afraid of? He wants answers, but Simon seems to be avoiding telling the whole truth. On the other hand, Ava's condition has worsened. He is captured and brought straight to Dragon Li, the one who is the real owner of this entire human trafficking network. He has a strange habit. He makes paintings of every beautiful girl and keeps them decorated in his house, as if he's not a human being, but a trophy. He angrily punishes the boy who reported the matter to the police. He stuffs several brushes into his mouth and says if even one falls, it's over. Then a girl comes there who helps Li in this whole work, and here another big secret is revealed. 15 years ago, his father used to run this entire network. But then Chan came and killed his father. From then on, this entire empire went into the hands of Dragon Li. Since then, he has been searching for Chan because not only the revenge, but also the goal for which all this started is still with Chan. As soon as Dragon Li learns that his hideout was raided by the police, he immediately gets the CCTV footage. At first, he just stares intently, but then suddenly his eyes fall on a face. Jai remains silent for a few seconds, as if he cannot believe it. Then the next clip plays, and in it he is seen doing the same dangerous punch. Same moves, same strength, and at that very moment his mind goes back 15 years. The day when Chan had knocked him to the ground with this very blow. Now there is no doubt left. His old enemy had returned. The very next day, when Chan returns home, he is shocked by the sight before him. Dragon Li's men are already at his house, and Mina is in their custody. Before he can understand anything, Rita shoots him in the legs. Chan falls down, and they start asking him directly about the gold. Meanwhile, Wang also reaches his restaurant while searching for him. But it was too late. He sees that the enemies have already attacked. Without wasting any time, he charges in, and what ensues turns into a straight-up gunfight. The sound of bullets starts echoing all around. Chan somehow manages to get up and try to reach Mina. But when he reaches her, everything is over. Mina dies in front of his eyes due to the bullet injury. That moment breaks the chain from within. Meanwhile, Wang follows the others, but they all escape. Coming back, he tries to console Chan and says that he has to go to the police station. But Chan was no longer in a condition to listen. Pain, anger, regret all burst forth simultaneously. He feels that if Wang had not come there, Mina would probably still be alive, and in this anger he attacks Wang. There is a fierce fight between the two, but Chan does not kill him. He just controls him, ties him up there, and leaves from there. Wang tries hard to free himself and find her, but the piece seems to have vanished into thin air. Forced to do so, he calls Simon, but he disconnects the call, citing an important meeting. From here, the suspicion deepens. Wang walks out, and then he sees Simon, who is present there himself. Now the matter is no longer straightforward. Wang quietly follows them, and the truth that comes out is the biggest shock for him. There is no one else to deliver all the news to Dragon Li. He had his own uncle Simon. The person whom he considered his support turned out to be a traitor. This wasn't easy for Wang to accept, but Simon tries to reason with her. He says that whatever he did was out of compulsion. When he came to the city, it was ruled by 6 different criminal gangs. There was chaos everywhere. After years of hard work, he has eliminated everyone, and now only one is left, Dragon Li. But Wang finds this completely wrong. According to him, Simon did not save the city, but made a single demon so powerful that now he is controlling everything. Earlier, were 6 gangs used to commit crimes together. Now Dragon Li is doing everything alone. Chan is sitting alone there. I am broken, but I don't give up. Then a video comes on his phone. As soon as he plays, his breath stops. On screen is Yui, scared, tied up, and what's happening to her is hard to even watch. A clear threat is given along with the video. Come to our base with the gold, otherwise your daughter will be sold. Now he has no other option left. He takes out all the gold that he had hidden for years, and without any delay sets out towards their hideout. On the other hand, the atmosphere is becoming even more scary. The girls are being scanned one by one, as if there are some goods, and then preparations are underway to pack them in containers and send them somewhere. Time was slipping away with every second. Just then, Chan arrives there, bringing the gold with him. Dragon Li looks at him. Then he checks the gold. But there is doubt, not satisfaction, on his face. He says that's all. Where's the rest? Chan gives a straight answer. First release my daughter, then I will tell you everything. But Li was in here to make a deal. He starts torturing Yui right in front of Chan's eyes. Drops sharp glass pieces under his feet. Yui screams, and the sound tears Chan to his core. Now he cannot stop himself. Seeing his daughter in that condition, he finally breaks down and tells her where he has hidden the rest of the gold. Once he's done, Lee steps back and looks at Amy. He signals her, "Now it's your turn." Amy, who has been waiting for this moment for 15 years, moves slowly forward. She picks up a heavy brick of gold in her hand and starts raining it down on Chan without stopping. There is anger, pain, and fire of revenge in every attack. Chan gets covered in blood, but he does nothing as if he has accepted this punishment himself. But just as she is about to deliver the final blow, there is suddenly commotion all around. The police force has reached there and surrounds the entire area. Everything changes in an instant. Actually, Chan did not come empty-handed. He had already made all the preparations. He had told Wang everything before coming here. Every truth, every secret. He even knew what happened to Wang's father that day and was ready to end everything. If he got his daughter in return, he was even ready to surrender himself to the law. He and his men attack Officer Lee's men. By eliminating everyone one by one, they make the atmosphere completely scary. The situation worsens to the point that Lee is forced to retreat. But before leaving, he plays a trick. He takes UV with him so that no one dares to shoot at him. Amy immediately understands that if they don't stop them now, it will all be over. She tells Lee to leave with the gold and stays behind to provide cover. Then Wang and Amy come face to face and a fierce fight begins. Anger in every attack, effort to put in life in every move. But eventually Wang picks him up and throws him down. Meanwhile, Chen had reached here while chasing Jolie. He is surprised to see her suddenly disappear from his sight. He searches everywhere, but he only gets UV, lying unconscious on the terrace. As soon as he gets to her, the real game begins. All this was planned in advance. Lee had hidden the bomb there, and the trigger was in his hand. Everything shakes as soon as there is an explosion. Without wasting a second, Chan jumps down from the terrace with his daughter. UV survives, but Chun is badly injured. Before he can even recover, Lee attacks him again to finish him off. But just then Wang arrives and shoots Lee. Now a direct confrontation begins between the two. Bullets rain down everywhere, but Lee soon runs out of bullets. Now he comes in his true style. Wang is no match for Dragon Lee, an expert in hand-to-hand combat, kung fu, and martial arts. Still, he is not ready to accept defeat. Just as Lee is about to deliver the final blow, Shahar suddenly jumps in, risking his own life, and saves Wang. But he has to pay the price for it himself. The bullet rips through his body. UV runs to help, but Lee grabs him too and throws him off the building without a second thought. Everything seems to end in a moment, but then Ren arrives in time and takes his hand. Lee now wants to eliminate both of them, but the game turns around. Chun catches hold of her and jumps down with her. He could have finished him right there if he wanted, but he had another motive, to find out the truth. And finally, during the conversation, Lee himself reveals the secret. 15 years ago, he was the one who murdered his boss, i.e. Amy's father. Amy's blood boils upon hearing this. She was standing behind, listening to everything, and in anger she stabs Lee in the back. It wasn't just an attack. This was revenge. But Lee wasn't going to give up so easily. He stabs Amy multiple times with the same knife and tries to escape. But the handcuffs stop his speed. Then Chan wakes up wounded, broken, but still alive inside. He punches Lee with all his might, due to which he falls away. Despite being in a bad condition himself, Chan gathers his last strength and with one final blow, finishes Lee off forever. Lee wasn't going to get up now, but the story does not end here. Simon arrives shortly after and, without thinking twice, shoots Lee as soon as he sees his body, as if he wanted to believe that this time he was really finished. Wang's anger was now out in the open. He asked a direct question. "Why did you do this?" "We were managing everything." But a cold voice came from the front. "The devil is better off dead." Upon hearing this, the atmosphere froze for a few seconds, because at that very moment a word came out of his mouth which shook Wang to the core. Exactly the same words his father had said before he died. Now the doubt had turned into belief. Without saying anything, Wang handed Lee's gun to Simon. But Simon seized the opportunity. He turned the gun around and pointed it at Wang's head, and the truth that came out changed everything. It was Simon, not Chun, who killed his father that day. Why? Because if he didn't do so, his father would have killed Lee himself. And then Simon gets nothing. He says in a cold tone, "I always gave you a chance to stay away, but I never thought that you would turn out to be like your father." And with that, he pulls the trigger. Click, no bullets fired. Simon's eyes show fear for the first time because Wang had already seen through his trick. At that moment, Wang had everything. There was an opportunity, a reason, and the fire of revenge. But he stops himself because he knows that if he does this today, he will also fall into the same darkness that he has always fought. He wanted to be like his father, a true policeman. After this, the story takes a little rest. One by one, all the girls who were kidnapped are taken out. Coming out of fear and darkness, they get a new life. But not every story has a happy ending. Chun, who had been fighting for everyone till now, had himself lost the battle of life. After a few days, the atmosphere changes a bit. Ava stands up to Officer Wong, thanks in the eyes and something else in the heart. She thanks him, and an unspoken bond begins to develop between them. But the final twist of the story was yet to come. We see Yui, who is now alone. After Chan leaves, the same boys start harassing him again. One of them laughs and says what happened. The attitude subsided after Uncle left. This time Yui doesn't stay quiet. She brings out the superness of Chan, and without any fear teaches both of them such a lesson that their arrogance ends right there. Just then Officer Wong arrives. His voice is even harsher now than before. If you bother Yui again, you'll go straight to jail. The boys run away from there without looking back. Chan was no longer there, but Wong had taken his place.